see my eyeballs? Oh, my onion. Hello and welcome back to my channel in another video. Today, I am going to be making 3 recipes all today. So it's a little bit of a kind of meal prepping day. I'm going to be making my salad and prepping everything that I'll need for the week for my lunches. I'm going to be making a new snack. So if you watched my last video, I've been making some changes to my nutrition, trying to kind of clean up and simplify my nutrition. One of the ways I'm doing that is trying to reduce my processed and like packaged foods. So instead of buying like store-bought hummus, I've been making homemade hummus. And today I'm going to be making a homemade black bean dip that I thought might be a really yummy snack as well. So we're making that. And then we are going to be trying a new recipe for dinner, which are sloppy joe bowls. So we'll see how much cooking I get through today. If anything, I might not do the sloppy joe bowls today, but I'll still film them tomorrow and put them in this video. Either way, you'll see that recipe. But I'm going to start off with the black bean dip because there's a good chance I will want a snack today in the afternoon. So we're gonna start with the snack, do the black bean dip. So what you need for this is 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, 2 small yellow onions, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 jalapeno peppers, 2 cans of black beans, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 3 tablespoons of water, and 1/4 cup of some fresh cilantro. This recipe seems very simple. What we're gonna do is you're gonna take your olive oil, the onions, the garlic, and the jalapenos all chopped up. We're gonna cook that in a pan on the stove until everything is soft. And then we put those in a food processor or a blender. And then all the other ingredients are also gonna get added to the food processor and you just blend it all together and that's it. Okay, let's taste test this. See if it needs anything. I have these chips to eat with it, and I chose these because it has avocado oil instead of like canola oil. If I do get something packaged, I'm just trying to be picky about the ingredients and especially the oils. Let's see what this tastes like. Maybe a little bit more salt. Trying to see if like maybe a little bit more cilantro or if it would be good. Maybe a dash of cumin. What do you think? Does it smell good? A little bit more salt, a little bit more cumin. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna put this up in the fridge and then just get straight into prepping this stuff for my salad for the week. So let me tell you what you need for this salad if you are thinking about doing it. From my memory, it does make a lot. It does last through the week. What I'm going to do differently from the last time I made it is I'm not going to put the dressing on all of it and like mix it together because I don't want everything to get soggy. So that's probably the only thing I'll do differently is I'll keep the dressing in a little mason jar, keep it on the countertop throughout the week, and then just use it as needed. And essentially this recipe is split up into like sections. So for the shredded Brussels sprouts that you're going to have is kind of like your base. You need 4 cups of shredded Brussels sprouts, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and a big pinch of sea salt. I made a note that I did about 1/2 tablespoon of salt on the Brussels sprouts. For the beans and chickpeas, the original recipe calls for 1 can of chickpeas and 1 can of white beans. Since I am going to be using this as my lunch, I'm going to do an additional can of white beans so that there's a bit more protein. But then for the beans and chickpeas mixture, you need olive oil, smoked paprika, cumin, and oregano. And then for the dressing, you need 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, the juice of 2 lemons, roughly 3 to 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, juice, so I'm using like my jar of pure lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of oregano, half a tablespoon of salt, and then everything else is like a topping. So we're gonna dice up 1 bell pepper, dice up 1 red onion, slice your cherry tomatoes, and then we have our dill and parsley that we're also going to cut up and like mix all together. So we're going to shred the Brussels sprouts. We're gonna drain the chickpeas and beans. They get cooked in the oven at 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, I believe. And then everything else is, you're just chopping it up as a topping, or we're just mixing up the dressing. So the only 2 things that are getting cooked are the beans and chickpeas together as one mixture on a pan, and then the Brussels sprouts on a separate pan getting cooked. So let's get started. All right, first things first is we're gonna go ahead and prep the Brussels sprouts and then the chickpeas and beans. So for the Brussels sprouts, I'm going to wash these, cut off all the ends, and then I am going to use the shred attachment thing that comes with my food processor. This is what I did last time. You could also chop them up with a knife. You could use probably like a cheese grater and shred it that way, but obviously the food processor and having the grate attachment makes it very quick to shred the Brussels sprouts. So I just need to wash these, cut off the ends, shred them in the food processor. If you could see my face during that whole time, I was like this. Every time I like added a new one, I was like, feel like I needed protection goggles. So the shredded Brussels sprouts get some olive oil, salt, I can't remember what else. That is a lot more than 4 cups of shredded Brussels sprouts. I got a pound of Brussels sprouts, which is what the recipe said. This is a lot more than 4 cups. But I am going to be eating it all week, so we're gonna roll with it. Taking a break real quick. A snack of pickles. And honestly, I want an Olipop. I had to turn my AC down because I was getting hot with all this cooking. I want to say I've been cooking for 3 hours. It's almost 5. I started, I think, at 2. I'd have to double check. I'd have to look back at my footage is when I started, but that's okay. Whoa, that is sour pickles. Oh, tart. The shredded Brussels sprouts and the beans and chickpea mixtures have both been taken out of the oven, and I've just been, wow, I'm like dying. Those were some tart pickles. Anywho, whew, reset. Oh my gosh, those pickles were so tart. Those are out of the oven. I've just been slicing the toppings. So I just gotta finish the dill and the parsley and then it's done. Just mix it together, but my dressing is already done. So I got the dressing, and after already cooking for 3 hours, it's 5 p.m. I don't think I'm going to make the sloppy joe bowls tonight because I don't need to, and I'm a little bit tapped out for cooking, but that will be in this video. So I think I'll need to make them for sure by tomorrow. So let's finish up the salad, and then tomorrow I'll film the sloppy joes. We're gonna have a little fun treat towards the end of this cooking saga. Comment down below your favorite Olipop or Poppy flavor. Mine used to be root beer first, and then it was cream soda. And now lately I've been on a big cherry cola kick. Okay, let's finish up the salad and call it a day. Okay, hallelujah. The end is in sight. We have completed our salad. This is going to be my lunch for the week. And like I said, I'm gonna keep the dressing separate so that it doesn't get like super mushy and stuff. I wanted to kind of keep it fresh. But I ended up doing only half a red onion because a full onion looked like a lot. And so I was curious if I wrote down this recipe wrong, because I found this recipe, or my friend found it from a TikTok, but it was such a pain to like try to read the caption where the recipe was. So I typed it all out, and I'm wondering if I typed this out wrong and it said 1 onion instead of half a red onion. So I ended up taking some out, and then this is all of the extra shredded Brussels sprouts that I have. But I forgot how yummy the shredded Brussels sprouts just by themselves are. Like, I was taking a fork and like eating just the plain soft seasoned Brussels sprouts. So I think what I'm gonna do is combine the Brussels sprouts and some red onion and do the exact same thing and bake these with the olive oil, the garlic powder, and salt, and make that as like my side for dinner tonight, because I have some leftover chicken thighs, but I don't have any more veggies left. So I think I'll have the shredded Brussels sprouts as my side. So that concludes today's 2 meals, well, snack and then 1 lunch. And then tomorrow I'll see y'all again for making the sloppy joe bowls that I'm very excited about. Okay, it's the next day, so it is time to make our sloppy joe bowls that I'm so excited about. But what you're gonna need is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You're gonna need half of a yellow onion, which I already have, so I'm gonna use this. 2 cloves of garlic. Actually, what am I saying? I forgot that I'm doubling this. I was about to say 1 pound of ground beef, but I got 2 pounds, so scratch that. 4 tablespoons of olive oil, a full yellow onion, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 pounds of ground beef. I forgot that I'm doubling it. I'm gonna link this recipe as is below, so you can obviously follow the original. I'm going to double it because I love leftovers and not having to cook every single day or every single night. So the doubled version will be 4 tablespoons of tomato paste, 6 tablespoons of tomato sauce, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, half a cup of coconut aminos, a teaspoon of dried oregano, basil, and chili powder, and then half a teaspoon of paprika and half a teaspoon of salt. So that's what you need for the sloppy joe meat mixture. And then besides that, we are going to do sweet potatoes. This calls for 2 large sweet potatoes. I got 3, so I didn't quite double that side of it. And then you'll need some olive oil and some salt to coat the sweet potatoes with. And then besides that, you just need toppings. So this calls for jalapenos and pickles. I wasn't sure if Ryan and I would eat enough jalapenos to justify buying a whole jar of them, but I feel like we would go through banana peppers more. So I got a thing of banana peppers, and then pickled red onions was speaking to me because I saw a different recipe use pickled red onions as a topping, and then I still did get pickles because I love pickles. So those are the 3 that I went with. Hopefully they're good. But this seems like a very simple recipe. We're gonna start off with the sweet potatoes. So we need to preheat the oven to 425. We're gonna line a baking sheet with some parchment paper, cut these up, lay them on the baking sheet, do some olive oil and some salt on top of them. And then it says to roast them for 30 minutes, stirring halfway through. So essentially it's just your sweet potatoes that you're prepping and then the meat. And that's really all the work that you have to do. So let's get started. See my eyeballs? Oh my onion. That was, I feel like that's the most I've teared up from an onion ever. Sweet potatoes are in the oven. I set the timer for 15 minutes so I would remember to stir them halfway through. And onion and garlic just went in the pan. So once these saute and the onion is translucent, we'll add the beef in. Oh, my heavens. Okay, I just took the first little taste test of just the meat, and it's actually so good. I was getting a little bit nervous, which is why I taste tested it in case I needed to like add something or tweak it. Because I was like, you've got a lot of interesting flavors in there. You know, you've got coconut aminos, Dijon mustard, tomato paste, tomato sauce. So I was getting a little nervous. I was like, I hope this is good, because you never know with like brand new recipes, but that's gonna be so good. And normally like Sloppy Joe's, like a classic Sloppy Joe, is normally on the sweeter side. Oh my gosh, I think it's gonna go so well with the sweet potatoes, and then to have the tang of all the like pickled things, I think this is gonna be so good. This might become like a regular meal that I keep on rotation. Heck yeah, heck yeah. Got all my sweet potatoes done. I'm so excited. Okay, we got out all the things. Here is my finished bowl. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be so good. As always, I'll share all the recipes in the description below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what type of content you want to see more of. But give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.